I've never, I like things that I do at panels to be firsts or bests. I've never done this one live. Test, okay. And so I figure, what the hell? I'm gonna forget words, and when I forget them, you can tell me what they are. You're sitting, it's weird, it's like church, but anyway. Oh, it's not sending sound, so anticlimax. We're gonna start over. Hey, welcome to Being on Time. How's it going? You came exactly at the right time. Okay. Do you guys know Super Mario 3D World with lyrics? This is my most Vegas one. We're gonna see how this goes. And now, coming to you from beautiful downtown National Harbor, Maryland, with a bunch of weirdos who do the Colossus yell, Brentalfloss asks you, what if Super Mario 3D World had lyrics? It's Super Mario 3D World, a Super Mario Jamboree. More fun times than sunshine. I can't hear the music, I'm fucked. And this is my career you're watching. You're watching it before your eyes. It's like sand in an hourglass, but the glass is broken. Anyway, the song's over. That was a bad idea. That's what I like to do, is give you experiences you can't get anywhere else. Like watching me fail. The thing is, the room's not really set up for live performance, and I wanted to see how it sounded for reasons that will become clear later. Does anybody have a basic, just super basic working knowledge of soundboards? Okay. What I need you to do, and don't tell anyone I told you this, is there's a soundboard back there, and I need you to take up the master gain. It's right in the corner back there. Did you just play your clarinet a second ago? I thought I heard a clarinet. Is this like a nerd vuvuzela? Like you go to a soccer game, but instead it's like... Celebratory clarinet. Could be worse. I don't know how. Okay, so if you see, is my voice making a little light on the thing right now? It's all imaginary, guys. It is a holographic universe. Nothing is real. Is there a master? He lied about the soundboard thing. He plays clarinet. Test, test. That sounds good. Okay. Now, here's what I want to do. Okay, that song's over. That's a horrible idea. But as long as I don't eat the mic. All right, what we're going to do now is I'm going to take some questions while you wonder what this thing is about and I don't show it to you. And then later I'm going to show it to you. Did anybody come with questions for me? By the way, let me back way up. I forgot to mention, I'm Brentalfloss. If you got dragged here by a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a parent or a child, I add lyrics to video game music, and I'm also trying to be a game developer in the way that a baby tries to read. So if you have any questions for me, now would be the time. Yes. Yes, Platoon. He texted me and said, hey, do you want to play Mr. Clean? Actually, I think what he said, I remember specifically, because he said, I need a Mr. Clean for this video. Would you be down to play Mr. Clean? And I said, man, like Charlie Brown. And that's all I remember. And I was like, I didn't know him very well at the time, and he's significantly more famous. So like after I texted that, I was like, I hope he knows I meant down like Charlie Brown and not just man like Charlie Brown. I wonder what he thinks man like Charlie Brown means. Man, I wish he'd text me back. And like 2 seconds later, he did. But anyway. Do you guys know about the pants? The pants were too tight. It's not a great story. The pants were too tight. You could not fit a fart in those pants. It was horrible. Because the thing is, he asked me what my pant size was, and I gave him my vanity number. You don't think when somebody's going to buy you pants, you don't think to give them the actual number. So it was like an inch small, but they didn't have any stretch. You know, we get used to everything having stretch in it. Well, canvas white pants have no stretch. It's like, you know... The point is, I was in his bathroom for a very long time trying to get them on, and I came out with like a mushroom-shaped body, just like, blah. Yeah, I was like having to do weird lunges up against the toilet, like, I can do this! Anyway, great story, Grandpa. But yeah, he just texted me. Then, we had to obviously go through the ritual of humanga, which is an ancient YouTube thing you've got to do in order to collaborate. But after that, no, it was really boring. Anyway, it wasn't actually that involved. More questions, please. Green sleeve. Why did I name my channel Brentalfloss in the first place? I didn't really name my channel. I just gave myself a screen name and then started making videos and then thought, well, I guess I am Brentalfloss because that's the name of my channel. But it was just my screen name on AOL. I really wish, I wish there was an interesting story. Like, I was at dental school and then I had a vision and Satan told me to do these things and make YouTube videos, he said, and don't take that floss out of your mouth. And then lightning struck me and I was forever changed. But no, I thought Brentalfloss was a funny pun, which the more you think about it, it's not, because what is it a pun on? Dental floss, but one of the first shirts that Screw Attack, when I was with Screw Attack, they had this shirt model, or this draft of what a shirt could look like, and it was the word Brentalfloss being pulled in cursive. Rather, dental floss was being pulled and making cursive words that said Brentalfloss, musical hygiene. And I was mad at whoever made it because I was like, I don't clean songs. I make them dirtier. That's why the original Screw Attack Brentalfloss shirts are so basic and chunky, or clunky, I should say, because I designed them. I was like, I'll do this myself. Give me a Microsoft Paint. Anyway, thanks for the question. Yes? Dwayne and Brando. Well, I'm not a child of divorce, but after working with them for a few years, I feel like one. They've broken up many times and gotten back together. It's a hilarious joke. Anyway, no, Dwayne and Brando, you know what? They're cool. They're are you from Detroit? Okay, well, say they're from Detroit, and you can tell. There's this sort of Jack White comes from Detroit, Motown came from Detroit. There's this kind of chip on your shoulder you can have while still being a cool person that I find people from Detroit and sometimes Pittsburgh, they have this thing, they're tough, even if they're lovable, they're still if they hug you, you feel like you can feel the spikes of their armor, you know what I mean? And Dwayne and Brando, they're nice guys, they're funny guys, but they're like that, they're tough. But generally speaking, we have a good time. I haven't seen them in person in a while, but when I do, we jam out. Brando brings his little portable guitar, and if there's a piano at the convention, I'll, play along. It's fun. It's kind of we'll have old-timey rockabilly jam session kind of stuff. But generally speaking, they're great, but you kind of have to pick which one you're more into at the moment for when they break up next and then get back together. You got to pick a side. Yes? Are we talking on my phone or... This dick pic video is out of date. I've gained weight. I've hidden so many videos. I think that there's got to be some Brentalfloss viewer out there that notices that I haven't crested 400 in a year or two because somehow the number goes up 1 and then down 2. The truth is, if I have a video that doesn't really represent who I am now, we're in a tricky world, guys. We're just in a world where it's easy to offend people, and you can offend people with the rough draft of the you who you are now. So if you go, I'm not that guy anymore, fuck if I'm going to get raked across the coals for what that guy said when I was 27. Screw him, I'm hiding this video. Just because, and the exception being Tetris with lyrics. But I think people can watch that video and go, this is Brent making fun of a douchebag kind of character rather than clearly being myself. I'd like to think. You know how backwards cap. Yeah. But I do hide videos. I did a parody of Nobody Does It Better by Carly Simon, and it was kind of funny, but it also had vaguely violent jokes in it that looking back now is that's kind of funny, but kind of not good. So, I hide stuff sometimes. And also, if there was a video where I just updated everyone on what was going on with my life in 2011, You don't need to see that now. You don't need to see how skinny I was. Yeah, but thanks for the question. I bet there's another one. Yes.
Yeah, so I know now that you're in game development, is that something that you've always wanted to do, or is it just something you decided to do on a whim?
I mean, since very early on in the Brentalfloss thing, I was coming up with ideas for games, but I'd pitch them to my game developer friends, and they'd be like, well, that would be cool, but that would be $5 million, and you've never developed a game in your life, and you don't know how to code. And I'd be like, yep, all these things are true, back to Brentalfloss. But I had an idea last year that I pitched to a friend of mine, and he was like, we could make that game. So we did. Well, I mean, it's not done yet, but we're working on it. That said, in the time since, I've realized, if I could find the right team, I could make this game, and I could make this game, and I could make that game. To be honest with you, I think that there's going to be a revolution at some point, and it's not going to be a huge one, but it is going to be a new genre of games. In the same way that everybody's talking about Hamilton right now, right? The Broadway musical Hamilton. Why? I'll tell you why. Because they found out a way to make a hip-hop musical that old white people like. That's just it. They've had a hip-hop musical before on Broadway. And this was a writer who knew enough about hip-hop and knew enough about musical theater. Because you can just put hip-hop on a stage and say it's a musical. It's not. You can have a musical theater writer be like, it's a rap. It's not. But somebody figured out how to do both beautifully. I think that there's going to be a time where there's going to be a game that is, in fact, a musical, like Frozen, like The Lion King, like Aladdin, but playing the game and experiencing it as a piece of musical storytelling will be the same thing. How? I'm figuring that out. But once somebody figures that out, it will be the next Frozen. It will be the next genre of game. Maybe not next, forevermore, but it will be a big deal. Kind of like there wasn't a roguelike till Rogue. That's why it's called roguelike when they make roguelike games. They're roguelike. But I want to make a game that's a musical. I want to make a game that you play through a level and you've got the song in your head, and also it told you what happens in the story next, and also you want to hear it again. And if you're 10, you want to buy all the toys and cosplay as the characters. In the meantime, I'm making a party game, but to answer your question, I didn't know how many games I wanted to make till I started to make one. Thanks for your question. Yes?
Are you working on music that you're going to want to put into the game now, or are you waiting for things?
Which one? In fact, the answer is no for both. But honestly, for the party game, I don't actually want to write music for it, and I'll tell you why. There's a certain sound that it's really hard to fake. For instance, do I have it? No, hold on. Here we go. Now, I could try to make something like this, but it wouldn't sound right. Why does this sound right? Because it was recorded on an old microphone with an old trumpet. And, okay, no thanks, iTunes. Anyway, stuff like that where, if I tried to make old-timey sounding music, it wouldn't quite sell you, especially if it wasn't live musicians. So for the game I'm making now, I'm wanting to license songs that were already written from, back in the day. As for the future musical game, I'll be honest with you, I'm focusing right now on the party game, but the trick is you kind of have to figure out what kind of game the musical game is. Is it a side-scroller where, it's all, auto-scrolling side-scroller and things happen around you and you have to side-scroll through it, but it's always a song? Is it like a rail shooter like Star Fox? Is it an RPG where the battles are songs? I don't know yet. And when I figure that out, I think that's the point at which I would start writing music. But to tie both your questions together, you two, that's what I want to end up doing. Because I feel like Brentalfloss isn't going anywhere. I can make some Brentalfloss videos and make people happy and throw an album out there every couple of years and continue that. And that grows with the new games that come out. But what I realized a few years ago is that I don't want to just, and this is not a dig at my other YouTuber friends, but I was not satisfied to have a career that's all about talking about what other people did. Because Brentalfloss is at its core critiquing or making fun of or commenting on other people's cool thing. But the way you rule the world is to make the thing. If you're Ken Levine who made BioShock, there's, 500 million or billions and billions of views that happened on YouTube to do with BioShock games. But who's the root of all of it? It's Ken Levine. It's the guy that made the thing. So even though Brentalfloss isn't going anywhere, the exciting thing is making the thing that everybody talks about, that everybody comments on. Same with, you look at Toby Fox, Undertale. I mean, as an idea, it's not that it's terribly complicated. It's just that he had the idea and nailed it. And now it's like no one can stop talking about it. Anyway, that's a really good segue into what I'm about to show you. So, you haven't seen it yet. Maybe you'll hate it. Stop clap. Anyway, funny story. The Living Tombstone is somebody who I'm currently annoyed at and very grateful for. Let me explain. In November, he said, let's do an Undertale collab. And I was like, great, I'll play the game and I'll write a lyric. And I did that. And then he decided he didn't want to do it. But that's because he's into EDM remixes and not musical theater. Basically, to me, the Undertale characters, I didn't really need to explain this thing I'm about to show you in this way, but I'm digging a hole, so I may as well make it to China. Anyway, to me, Undertale is not, the way to tell the story with lyrics was not EDM. I feel like these characters are like Disney characters or, the musical theater characters. And I glommed onto Papyrus and I was like, this guy is such a great character. He needs to sing. And I tried to write a with lyrics, but it was not a with lyrics. It was the musical, Undertale the musical. So this is Papyrus' song from Undertale the musical. The Sans voice is very not how it's going to sound because Yoav, the Living Tombstone, was gonna be the voice of Sans, but now that he doesn't want to collab, I'm like, no, get out of here. You'll get a special thanks, you dick. Anyway, we're friends, I'm mostly kidding. But Fraser from Video Games Awesome is gonna be Sans. So that's exciting. But right now it's me doing this weird like, hey, I'm Sans. It's totally not how Sans should sound. I'm vaguely Canadian. Anyway, so I got an animator named Alexander Hollings. He's from the UK. He tried to make a finished animatic. In fact, he did make a finished animatic of the 79 seconds that he got. Apparently, Living Tombstone said, hey, here's an animator for you, but gave him the original demo. This is a lot of unnecessary information that I'm telling you. And yeah, that's just what I do, just lots of filler. Hopefully this won't be more of that. This is the current animatic, very rough, very early, with cutaways to game footage where we didn't have any animated stuff, of Undertale the musical, Papyrus' song. Please enjoy.
Here comes Papyrus. Quick, get behind that conveniently shaped lamp.
Hey.
Oh, hey, bro. What's up?
You know what's sup, brother. Another day of puzzles and human hunting, lying in wait and wanting simply one chance. Another day of looking cool in my cape and generally being great and wearing no pants. I look for humans all day long, then I take a little spaghetti break and back to the grind. I keep maintaining all of my brilliant puzzles. Hold your skull tight because they'll blow your dang mind. And yet in spite of all of my dedication, Sans, you're as lazy and dim as a cow. Get off your bones, your puzzles need calibration. What if a human were lurking near us now?
Sorry, I was just staring at this lamp.
Uh-huh.
It's really cool.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to look?
No, you skeletal scallywag! I don't have time for that. What if a human comes through here? We must be watchful, on our toes, eagle-eyed. If humans should happen by, we won't let them go. My puzzles rule, and also this junior jumble. How do I stay so humble? I do not know. And look at this one. Blades will slice, spikes will swing. This puzzle has everything. It gives me such glee. Sooner or later, humans will come again, and someone will capture them, and it will be me. And on that day, you all will say, Hail Papyrus, I'll finally get all the things I deserve. First off, respect, then reverence and recognition. It will be me all the little people serve. Undyne and Asgore, they'll say, well done, Papyrus, you've toiled well, toiled long, toiled hard. I'll bathe in kisses all day and all night. They'll promote me to the head of the royal guard.
Maybe this lamp will help you.
Sans, you are not helping, you lazy bones. All you do is sit and boondoggle.
Hey, take it easy. I've gotten a ton of work done today. A skeleton.
Sans!
Come on, you're smiling.
I am, and I hate it! Take your stupid human-shaped lamp and get back to work.
You get back to work.
I will. Back to our day of tracking evasive humans. They won't escape our two-man skeleton crew. Another day preparing for a deadly battle, honing a tactic that'll turn their hearts blue. I will attend to my puzzles. As for your work, put a little more backbone into it. And one day soon my puzzles will catch a human, then maybe someone will want to be friends. And all my woes will come to an end. I'll be the captain of the guard, they'll hold me in such high regard. The praise will be prodigious and I'll be so prestigious, so popular and powerful. The path I walk so flowerful that all the sexy monster drones will line the block to jump my bone. And someone who will want to be my friend. I'll catch a human, join the guard, and finally have a friend. Hey!
Thank you. Thank you very much. So yeah, like I said, it's not really the EDM remix stylings of Living Tombstone. I can see why he was like, this isn't really my speed. By the way, if you're one of the super lovely human beings that got footage of that, like, I'm not too worried about you like leaking it to CNN, but like keep it to yourself till the video comes out. That would be great. Anything else in the panel is fine. But you know, don't break the story. Because to me, it's important that people that actually bodily attend a panel, maybe you've driven from far away, but you got here. I want you guys to be able to see that stuff and not just everybody. So, anywho, it does not feel good after half an hour of singing as Papyrus, I want you to know. Because you've got to find the exact right resonance between Skeletor and like, oh, I had it figured out, but I forgot who it was. But it's like right in here. It's back there. Like Skeletor's like young and aspiring Skeletor. I like spaghetti. Anyway, yeah. Let me ask you guys a question. Does anybody? I don't know if Sans is currently portrayed like I think Sans would act. Does he seem like he's like too like, oh whoops? Like I feel like Sans is really smart and really wise and just pretends to be dumb. Did that come through? Okay. If you have thoughts about it, feel free to tell me after or whenever you see me. But thanks for watching that. Any other questions? Yes, front row. The hardest with lyrics to do. The hardest one. It's so hard to define because they're all just a pain in the ass. I mean, gosh. I feel like, let me tell you what, okay. Do you count Nintendo Bohemian Rhapsody as with lyrics? You should have said no and just had me like dangling on a hook like, nope. So if that's what you were gonna say, it doesn't work. Honestly, Pat the NES Punk and I are good friends, and we're good friends because we haven't collaborated in a few years. We like kind of get at each other's throats in a way that's like endearing, but like it's only endearing because we know that we're, you know what I'm saying? Like you have one of those people that like, they're kind of diametric. So you sort of are constantly sparring with them even as you're being their friend. Anyway, the point is, I just, you know, I'm not used to sharing and collaborating with people. With some people it works well, like with Dave Ballmer it worked great. But Pat and I had very different opinions on everything. He gave me think about a page full of text on Microsoft Word. Think about 3 of those full of notes after he saw the first edit of Nintendo Bohemian Rhapsody. That's what I'm talking about. But I mean, he's a pleasant guy. We are indeed friends. He wished me a happy MAGFest via text the other day. But at the time, for me, it was arduous. It was. And he also wanted to sing the first part in its original key, and I was like, no. Because like it's just Freddie Mercury, right? High voice. Okay. I bet, yes, question.
How's your experience working making music for that default Dan? Did you have to give him a special format, or you just program music into the middleware?
So this is a question about Default Dan, which is a video game that I wrote the score for. And basically, they just gave me like a situation like, give us a title theme. In fact, they said the title theme should be ska, the 90s called. But anyway, I made a ska. I bet I have it. Let's see. Okay. Good old iTunes. And by that, I mean the version of iTunes that really wants you to be using Apple Music. Remember that time I searched for like, oh wait, fuck, don't say iTunes while you're searching for something. There we go. So I didn't really know how to do a ska tune. So I made it like, it's sort of ska, but it's cartoon ska. But it's got that thick. That's, if you haven't played Default Dan, I think they're in the indie game area, right? Go check it out. Check it out. I won't show you the rest. It'll be show and tell till we're dead. So as far as what we did, they would say we need a title theme. Okay, now we need the first level. And the first level is, kind of happy and everything's bright like a Mario game. So I was like, okay. And what's funny about it is that you're constantly dying and exploding and bloody parts of you are going everywhere, and it's like, anyway. But then later they were like, we want a version of that song that's like for the second quest where everything's harder. So I took that basic melody, and this is like a really warped version of that same tune, but now it's spooky. Anyway. You can check that out at, I think they put it on iTunes, but you can also just play the game. Thanks for the question. Now, earlier I did a test of how the acoustics in this room are, because it's always good to know how the acoustics are. And they're great for a panel, but you can hear this echo, right? So basically, the reason I point that out is because somebody earlier in the day who came to the autograph session asked me if we could do a duet, somewhat impromptu. And I said yes, but the thing is, with the sound in here, it's going to be a shit show. My question for you is, do you want to see this shit show? Okay, really? It's going to take me a while to get used to the fact. Oh, okay. Hi, remind me of your name?
Soren.
Soren. Awesome. I loved you in Star Trek Generations. Okay, that's good. Yeah, see if that works. Okay, I'm gonna see if I have any mobility with this thing, because I'm probably gonna need it.
Brent, flying heads. That displays
Yeah,
a great
how far can you go with
imagination.
that thing? Okay, so, all right. So basically, Soren was like, what if we do, he's apparently memorized the Dave part of the ocarina song. Now, I don't usually do stuff like this, but I'm trying to say yes more often. By the way, this gentleman out here bought in my moving sale the actual Zelda, the fake prop magazine, Nintendo Power. You're gonna use that, okay. This is really weird. I don't do stuff like this. I'm an old grouch and I'm like, no, this is my pedal. Ah. But I'm turning over a new leaf by being less of a dildo. All right. We're just going to do the confrontation part because it's 10 minutes long.
What is this, like a Playboy?
You wish. It's actually, no, it was a Castlevania thing. Just make sure when you're singing to face them. Okay, you can cheat out. I know. I've never met you, and like this is going to be a flavor of shit show because of the room noise, but it might be awesome. So, this is the confrontation.
Can you get down here with the mic? Do you have enough cable?
Possible. Okay. One never knows what. Okay. I think I can. Oh yeah. Well, maybe if we just destroy the whole thing one at a time.
It's all right.
Just kidding. I broke MAGFest. I'm pretty sure Colossus broke MAGFest a couple years ago. Okay. Told you. Okay, not yet. Let me tie my shoes. Here, vamp, Charlie.
Vamp?
Yes. That's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, let me see if I can make this thing even louder. Because if we get lost on this thing, it's just gonna be horrible, which is how no Frenchman ever pronounced any word ever. Equalizer. Bass booster. Okay. Now I'm gonna completely commit to this dramatically. Oh boy.
I feel you, bruh.
Yeah, are you guys ready? Here we go. Hey, smarty pants. Oh, don't be shy. You wanna dance? Well, so do I. Now here's your chance to tell me why you love this game.
Well, where to start and what's the goal? It's games as art that touch the soul. You have no heart, so how can you speak of love?
That's bullshit, and you know it graphically. Ocarina was a tragedy. Do the textures cause depressive personality?
This is how
because they're literally sad to see. They took that game I loved so much
and explore the land so
into
it
a
can
beast
be a
and made it
hero.
look all new
That's
and
what
strange.
we all
If there's one thing I hate, it's
dream.
change. This
This
overrated
is just
chore
nostalgia now.
with all its fanboy drones. What's worse? They spawned a million Ocarina clones. This is your nostalgia now. If you show it to a child
It's
today,
a method but went
they'll
on
ask
to
you for a link to the past.
Oh,
It's much more fun
to
to
this
play
day.
if you won't disavow this your sacredness cow. I don't care, 'cause this ends now. You didn't think about it with the two hands thing, did you?
No, I didn't.
All right, give it up for Soren, everybody. Thank you.
And special thanks to Dave for the music.
All right, one more round of applause, and if you'll hand that back to the. Thanks for letting us do that with what is ultimately. Oh my gosh. That's real singing. I'm warm now. Okay, goodbye. No, I'm just kidding. You were great. I just didn't want it to become a conversation because clearly I'm fucking up enough by myself. Anyway, let's do another question for a cool down. Yes.
Conveniently after playing it, are there any without there you intend to release for some of us to purchase and then cover?
Probably. I mean, the thing is, Brentalfloss goes through phases, okay? So 2014 was probably like, in my opinion, kind of this like golden renaissance age of Brentalfloss because it was all these videos right in a row. Like in the span of a couple of months, it was like Phoenix Wright, Donkey Kong Country, Wii Shop Channel, Shovel Knight, Shadow of the Colossus, BioShock Infinite, like boom, 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 boom. But before that, there were these months of me doing almost nothing. Like Phoenix Wright was kind of a comeback video. But then I just got into the groove again. I find that if I try to force the groove, this is such an artsy-fartsy guy that can't keep a day job thing to say. But it's hard to just turn myself into a sausage factory of play game, write words, make song, play game. Because the thing is, I went to 6 years of school in the arts and I'll be paying for the loans until I'm dead. And so why did I do that? To not have a day job. I mean, to avoid not that there's anything wrong with those kinds of jobs, But, you know, I just don't think I can do it. I think I've been long enough away from that kind of job that I... What was your question? Hold on. You have to speak louder above the cruel laughter. Maybe. Anyway, thanks for the question. Yes, sir.
This been bothering me for a little while now. Do you actually dislike Super Mario Land as much as you let off in that video?
Think of Brentalfloss as an exaggerated version of the real me who can take on opinions I don't really have. You're talking to Brent Black at the Brentalfloss FAQ, and he won't shut up about all of his non-Brentalfloss things, right? But Brentalfloss is like kind of like putting on the mask in the movie The Mask. It's not my favorite. I love Super Mario Land 2 way more. But I don't hate it the way that I do in that video. It's just something about me and Dave. When I'm negative about a thing and he's positive, it makes me the most American I can be and him the most British he can be. We're thinking about doing a video for the threequel, like the third one in our little trilogy, where some techno-babble Star Trek explanation, we switch brains. So suddenly, like, I can be Dave lip-syncing, like, Dave. And he can be like angry, me. Because we thought about making it where he was the one disliking a game, but I don't think people want to see him hate a game and me like it. I think they want to see me hate it and him like it. I don't know why. But it's like a sub-dom thing. It's just yin-yang. It just, that was too much for you. Whoa, no, gotta go. Come on, you've written fanfic about that very thing. Anyway, Rule 34. Now it's somewhere in the world, a light bulb shone above some really special kid's head. Anyway, yikes. I thought about showing you one extra thing. It's unfinished, but I've been thinking for a while about this video I want to call the Ballad of Jumpman. Because here's my question. You play Donkey Kong on the arcade. There's a guy. He's clearly Mario. You look at the directions and it says, to move Jumpman, press this button. And it's like, or press the joystick and you're like, Jumpman? Who the fuck is Jumpman? I want to find out. I want to ride it. So in this little video, there's nothing to show you. There's only a partially done song. This is supposed to be like Batman Begins of Mario. So here's what I want you to picture. He's working at a construction site. Obviously, the girders are pink. Duh. And he's being Mario. Like, the thing about Mario is he's perfect in the Mushroom Kingdom. But as a human being, he would be pretty bad at life. Like, just way too strong for his own good, jumping ridiculously high, but also kind of clumsy, kind of a tumbler, kind of and messing around, kicking things like they're turtle shells. He's kind of like a misunderstood slacker. So he gets fired from his job. He's in these blue coveralls for working for Jumpman Construction Company. They rip the word Mario off his coveralls when they fire him, so now he's just Jumpman. And he goes off to try to be like a door-to-door handyman, and he's horrible at it. He, keeps on trying to fix things that aren't plumbing problems with a wrench, he's way too strong for his own good, so when he tries to one nail into a fence, he knocks down the whole fence. Like, the video, you see him getting slightly better at stuff, but then failing again, like finding out what he's good at, but also not being good at things. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to feeling like they're stuck in the wrong universe. If only the skills that were required to make money were eating Cheetos and writing poetry. Maybe that's you, I don't know. But the thing is, he's a weirdo, but he knows in his heart he's meant for something. That's the idea of this song. I haven't figured out the vocal style yet, but what's the best way to do this? There we go. Sorry, I literally have stickies that have future song ideas and stuff like that, and I just don't want you to know everything right up front. And the thing is, I don't know how That clarinet thing, I'm gonna really have to get used to that. That's just so weird. To like, everybody makes a noise and then you hear like, anyway. Like, what if you did that vocally? You know that would be weird if you did it with your mouth, right? Like, if everybody clapped, you were like, but no, you blow into a reed instrument, now it's normal. Okay. What? Let's not make it a conversation. Hold on. I gotta show you this song. This is what I have of the Ballad of Jumpman. This might not be the vocal style. I don't know yet. I've got an animator on it, but animation takes time. But this is what I have of the Ballad of Jumpman. Here we go. Ahem.
Another day, another dollar. Graveyard shift, blue collar. Low on the totem pole, but I got dreams. I jump around, I swing a hammer. And while it's not a life of glamour, there's more to this handyman than it seems. And people tell me grow up, life's not a game. They tell me nobody will ever know your name. Well, okay, but I don't listen to what they say. You can turn up your nose, you can put me down, but I'm gonna get up and get out of this town. Cause hey, I'm gonna be a big deal someday. Door to door, a man for hire. Fix your drain, change your tire. Just give me a fighting chance, I'll play the part. I'm not the best at being normal. My bearing ain't exactly formal, but nobody else but me has this much heart.
Grammar.
And everybody lets me know I'm a big fat slob. You're never gonna get a princess with that job. Well, okay, but I don't listen to what they say. You can turn up your nose, you can put me down, but I'm gonna get up and get out of this town. Cause hey, I'm gonna be a big deal someday.
And then we'd go into a bridge section and have a final chorus at the end. But that's the Ballad of Jumpman as it currently is. So thank you for listening to that. It's getting there. Like, you know, I'm struck with the fact that, like, compared to 2012, 13, like, at that time, some financial things have happened in the time since that make it where I can't just shell out thousands of dollars to immediately have an animator just go run off and make another Baby Mario, Papa Yoshi, that kind of thing. And the irony being I have all these cool ideas for animated songs now, but the trick is just get some, you know, hook or by crook, get some animated stuff out there and get that machine going again. Because, you know, working with puppets, working with animation, I'm a little tired of seeing my own face on videos. I'm a little tired of having every video be a clip show. It's fine to have a clip show. I feel like Super Mario Sunshine with lyrics and Mario Land 2, they're clip show videos, but they're pretty fun. But, like, you know, at some point, I used to do puppet stuff, you know what I mean? I used to, like, command cartoonage to rise from the nothing, and I want to do that again. You're what I would look like if I grew out my beard for a lot longer. Yeah, stand up and show everybody future me. Look at this guy. Well done. He looked a little bored, so I decided to wake him up. Oh, you're not bored, you're drunk. Okay. There's just a very slight difference between and. I get it now. Okay. Yes, the axe that I hope isn't used against me. Lyrics videos that I have left on the cutting room floor. I've been working on Crashman for literally years, and I just keep not doing it. You want to hear the current draft? Okay. Somebody recently helped me with my laptop, and ever since then, my search thing doesn't work as well. So, like, it's somewhere. I have about 12 minutes left or something like that. You know what? I'll do it a cappella. But I still have to find the thing. That's right. That's how life works. I got to find the lyrics. Crash Man. Okay. Sorry, there's lots of files coming up. I don't know what they're about. That journal entry must have the word crash and man in it. Okay, interesting. Really? Well, fuckaroo. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna find this thing. I'm committed now. Dropbox, ideas. Crashman? Is this the one? Oh, God. I found a file that says Crashman with sampled Michael Jackson vocals from Thriller era Michael Jackson. Again with this clarinet. It is weird, right? It is weird, right? I love it, but like I keep going. Did it just get Jewish in here? What happened? Yidle deedle. I mean, it's fine. I love the clarinet. And it figures heavily in Undertale with lyrics, but I just keep forgetting there's one in the room, you see. Oh gosh, and I asked for that. I asked for that. Let's try, well, I'm sorry guys, the thing is that like whenever I go to search, I should know where it is, but well, welcome to the most exciting panel you've ever been to. You're just joining us. Brent's looking for a file. I just found an idea for a song to do Dive Man with lyrics. Do you know Dive Man? It goes bam bam ba-dam, bam bam ba-da-da-da-da, bam bam ba-dum, bam. And the thing is that they make this like vaguely submarine-shaped robot master in most of the Mega Man classic games. But I forgot that I wrote this. I was probably high, but it would just be a repetition of I am Dive Man, not Hard Man, and not Wave Man. I am Dive. Anyway, hilarious. But I can't find the Crash Man one, and that's a bummer. I mean, it's basically like time to party, somebody take my car keys or you'll be sorry. That's why they call me Crash Man. I think the reason I haven't done it is because it's really dark in kind of a, hey, my mom died in a car crash kind of way. So, no, it's true. I mean, like, that's why I haven't done it. But I think what I might do is have it be like, all the robot masters like shown superimposed onto TMZ-style paparazzi pictures. So imagine like Woody Harrelson and Brad Pitt are like walking out of a place drunk, but Crash Man's like with them. He's drawn on, but clearly he's supposed to be in the same picture. Like Lindsay Lohan and Crash Man doing blow off a toilet seat. Like Crash Man is like the guy who Crash Man's like the Lindsay Lohan, Amanda Bynes, Freddie Muniz, Justin Bieber, that train wreck asshole who needs to get his life right. But right now, he's kind of a wreck. Crash Man. It's got stuff in there like trash, what is it? Crash a tractor into a crash compactor. I'll clean up after, but for the moment, let's crash. It's a story about a self-destructive person. Who's also a robot master. Can we agree that they're not all masters of things? Toadman, not a master of being a toad. Toads do not make it rain. He's a master of making it rain, but he looks like a toad, but not really. What is Pharaoh Man master of, besides maybe some slaves? Anyway. He's the master of hard man? Or are you asking me to make a hard man joke? How would that go? Any other questions? Yeah, you.
Well, I first just want to say that I really like that Jumpman song.
Thank you.
But I just want to ask, how was your time with Screwtack?
Brief. Screwtack is what it is. There are many people involved with Screwtack I dearly love. But it was a different time. It was a time in the internet before there were YouTube networks. So this company rolls up and goes, hey, make videos for us. We'll give you $50 per video. And I'm like, hell yeah, that sounds awesome. But that's like 50 cents per man hour or woman hour. We don't judge. Person hour. But the point is that like, it was a time where I went, hey, wait, I think I'm worth more than this, but there was some push me, pull you. I haven't always gotten along with Craig, but we respect each other. But as far as like the gestalt of my time with Screw Attack, brief. I still hang out with various people that I met through Screw Attack when I go home to Dallas. So you didn't need all that inside information, but it's hard for me to just paint over a thing and go like, oh, it was good. Like, because you guys know me well enough, I think. If you're here, you probably know that I wouldn't just, like if it's simple and it's clear and I say it concisely, it's not true. Anyway. I love to see hands slowly creep up. It's like you're a little bit like you're not wanting to be this guy. So what happens is I just see this little hand just like growing super fast out of the ground. You in the blue hat, hit me. You look behind you to make sure there wasn't another person in a blue hat. Go ahead. Here's why I'm typically not worried about video game companies claiming any kind of copyright violation. Because what I do is typically parody. It is, in fact, making fun of the game in question. Legally, it has to make fun of the game in question to be parody, and I don't always do that. So, like, Undertale the musical, that's on the line. What's it called? The Ballad of Jumpman is not really parody. It's actually kind of exploiting somebody else's IP to tell a story I think I want to tell. They could nail me for that, although to be fair, that one is an original tune, just using their stuff. Have I worried about it? Yeah, once or twice. Doing Space Oddity and using David Bowie's, rest in peace, by the way, using the tune of Space Oddity, I didn't get any kind of permission to do that. I just figured David Bowie would be cool with it. Surprised he was. So, yeah. And also I put Please Don't Sue Us in the credits. That's why. That must be it. But, legally speaking, if you take a piece of music and you make your own arrangement of that and then in so doing, you are making fun of the original, that's legally okay. Now, any company can sue you for anything. Look at Donald Trump. Homeboy don't need a reason. He actually sued Bill Maher for making a joke about him having an orangutan for a dad. So anyone can sue anyone. However, the short answer is, not since 2010 or 11 have I really been all that worried about it. What's my cutoff? Or, you're not in charge. You're just looking in like you are. Okay. The person I was talking to literally just walked backwards about 5 feet. Like, what's my cutoff? And they're like, you're all the way around as if that would just kind of like an animal in the wild. Like, if I just keep my eyes on you, I can escape. All right, someone who hasn't asked a question yet, in the purple.
So you mentioned you don't want a day job. So what's a day in the life for you when you're trying to turn out videos?
Lots of farting, talking to myself, giggles. No, what's a day in the life of me? I mean, it really varies. There are times when I'm more productive, and there are times where it's a lot of administrative stuff, and no one day is the same. I might spend a whole day catching up on emails because I'm not great at keeping up with my content inbox. Or it might be a whole day of trying to get a demo done and then going straight into the visual editing. Or it might be a day of very little. It just happens sometimes where you just don't quite have the thing, and you can do busy work. You can organize your files and go through and make sure all your old thumbnails look good. But right now, I'm developing a video game. I've got a podcast every week. I'm trying to keep the Brentalfloss thing afloat, but it's a lot of long-term video projects. So lately, a day in the life for me, one does not resemble the next. But it's a good question. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. Yes, you, with two arms.
Going off of the question that he asked, the other guy asked earlier, as I'm sure you're already aware, Doug Walker Do you have any comments, I guess, to add to that, I guess?
You know, I really have a lot of opinions and they don't all agree with each other. I'm a parodist, I'm a copyright holder. So the copyright holder in me goes, well, if you use somebody's copyrighted stuff, you have to pay. And the parodist in me goes, but I use people's other compositions all the time. That's what my parodist sounds like. He's not a cool guy. So like, I think that there just needs to be a better system. I talked to a guy in LA at like a YouTube network party who works for Google Content ID. And I don't think this is telling tales out of school, but YouTube wishes it was easier too. Old puffy white men who own copyrights to stuff that they had nothing to do with because they are in the chair with the power are the ones that are making it hard. YouTube's trying their best to like not be ripped apart this way or that way. So, you know, Doug's right, but I don't know how long he thought he was going to be able to use footage from movies. And before the movie companies were like, what? You're not a real critic. And I love Doug. But it's like, and I mean, you know, if Nintendo decided to come down on me, to your earlier question, I'm not sure I'd really have that big of a leg to stand on for certain things I've done. Well, I did an instrumental cover of Mario songs on the piano on my first album. Was that a parody? Yeah, remember that one part where Mario played the concert piano? No, it's not a parody. It's just exploitation. It's lifting and taking. And I haven't gone back and fixed that. And no one's innocent here. But I just want you to know that as much as Doug and there's this growing movement are like, YouTube, change your policies. Well, they're not wrong, but it's not necessarily YouTube. Think about it. They want to make money and make a lot of people happy. Who doesn't care if a lot of people are happy? Copyright holders. So just don't forget that. And I'm not disagreeing with Doug. I'm just saying there's 360 degrees of this argument. I bet I can do one more question. Does anybody know what's in here after me, by the way? Name that tune? Okay, I'm just waiting for somebody to tell me that I should be done, but I'll keep going until I am. Yes, you. So I was just wondering, when could we possibly see a fourth album? A fourth album? After 2016 and before I'm dead. I really want very badly to finish this game. And not to the point where I'll stop doing Brentalfloss stuff, but I'm like creatively constipated. I've got a musical in the works, but it's not really happening because I want to finish this game. And I've got all these Brentalfloss videos, and they're happening in the background, but I'm not really writing a lot of new stuff because I want to finish this game. And the podcast that I do doesn't really require a whole lot of creativity. It just requires getting up early, taking notes, and recording a podcast. So my answer is I want to do another album, and I want it to be really good, and I want to have, you know, cameos in it of people that are doing stuff kind of like what I do, people that like Mando Pony or Miracle of Sound or Dave Ballmer again. And I'm not promising any of these things, but it would be really fun. Or Josiah McDaniel, who I think I saw walk in, by the way. This guy in the back, remember this face. This guy's a freaking genius. Have you changed your online name yet, or are you still Boozin' Walsh? Josiah McDaniel, look him up tonight. He does video games with lyrics. Other stuff too, but they're heartfelt and they make you feel things other than giggles. You. What was my experience like working with big bad bosses? Gerard was like, will you do a thing on this song? I was like, yeah. I recorded a bunch of different, I wonder if I have it somewhere. I think I might still have my unused takes for the song Another Villain. Okay, if you guys haven't heard this is Big Bad Bosses, the Jake Kaufman jam. Enough of you know this, what I'm talking about? So I did a bunch of voices, and all he kept was me doing Dr. Wily, like, what did my robot ever do? But like, I did a bunch of other attempts because he didn't assign any. So here's a bunch of probably bad versions of me.
I never lose a case.
Ugh.
And I fix my hair with glue.
Ugh, I wouldn't have used it either. Oh, I did this one thing. I was Diddy Kong, though, but it was like Meatwad. Because he says, like, do you ever think maybe we're the bad guys? But let's see.
Guys. Hey man, did you ever think maybe we're the bad guys? Hey man, did you ever think maybe we're the bad guys?
I get more serious every take. Or not. Never mind. Anyway.
Every now and then I do a little bit of the meat wad, and it's pretty cool, you know. You gotta keep it cool, man. Just gotta do your thing. Just be cool.
I think my panel's over, but what I want to stress before you leave is that tomorrow night at 9 p.m. will be the first public showing of the latest version of this game I'm developing, and if you can make it, I really want you to be there. I basically pulled some strings and got James Rolfe to play the game on stage, but what we're going to do in that room tomorrow night is hopefully going to be the basis for the Kickstarter of the game. And you know, like, I've got big dreams that are maybe a little unrealistic, but I want this game to be a big deal. So if you can make it, to come and laugh and support and really just like, it's going to be a good time. It's an improv comedy game, so it should be fun. But I'd really appreciate that. And thank you so much for tolerating me tonight. It's been a great time. Thank you for your questions. And I will see you guys around. Bye.